Good morning, everyone. Now we will going to see manage chart of account. But before that, what we did yesterday, we have created a user, we have created the offering, and then today we will go for a manage chart of account. Why it is used? First thing I will going to tell you why to uh, to configure the offering screen always allow you to see to select for the model applications and functions you enter for the implementation use. An offering is important to do before we do the manage implementation project, before we go for a manage implementation project. So let's start with implementation project. So now we will go to setup and maintenance. Either we can go from here from the user. On the next to the user you can see a down arrow, and from the once you're going to click on this down arrow you can see a setting and action, or you can go to the navigator, and from here you have to go down and you can see here as a work list, and you can see here as a report and analyst. In a tools you will going to see this. So we can have a setup and maintenance. Here we can see setup and maintenance. I'm going to click over here. Now the page which I have been over here, this is a setup page. So now you can see a compensation management. Here you can click on a finance. Once you have clicked on a finance, you can go to action and go to offering. You can see here as the offering. Once you are here in the offerings, you are able to see that the status should be enabled, and you must go to the option in features. Once you're going to click on option in features, you will going to see here as a finance. In this finance you will going to see that all the things are enabled. If you can see here in this pencil, you will going to once you're going to click on pencils, you can see that all the things should be get enabled, that the feature should be enabled. Once this is done, again we will go to procurement. You know why the procurement is used. Procurement is useful for supplier. So in procurement, once we're going to enter in a procurement, we can see all the things are all should be enabled. So if this is enabled, so procurement, supplier, item, purchase, self-service procurement, receiving, supplier invoice processing, supplier payable payment, all these things for the cash management, and all these contents are comes under the procurement. All the things are tick mark. Tick mark means that those are enabled. So once it is done, now we will move on to manage implementation project. To create a implementation project, you have to go to task, manage implementation project. Implementation project is a project which is used for setting up a project. For example, if I am having a company, if my company is taking any of the project and the name of the project is 0101 Aqua. For example, I'm going to take it as an Aqua. So I will going to search if this is already there or I have to create. See, I can see that this project is not there. So what I will going to do, I will just going to add this project as 010 Aqua. So in this you just have to define a name as Aqua. So I will going to give the hyphen over here, Aqua. Once I will going to write this name, it means it will automatically get 010 Aqua in code and a description. See, this is automatically got changed. And now we have the user, a user which I have seen it has been assigned with this name, assigned with SP851985. So this is the username. So start date we can change over here. So we're going to take as 2014 1st January. So we're going to take a January as a 1st January, that is on Wednesday. And then we can say here as a next. So in this Excel sheet we will going to use here as a project implementation as we have used the name as Aqua, and start date is, what is our start date? Start date is 0, where it is, okay, 01 01 01 2014. So this is our start date. We have to note down each and everything. Once you will going to create this will be the first step to manage our project, to implement a project. Now we will go to the manage chart of account. So now first I will go to the finance. I will going to click on finance, where I have to configure the financial setting. So I will going to enable all the checkbox related to the finance. So under this we can see a collection, revenue manager, intercompany, and the financial business integration analysis, analytics, profitable business intelligence analytics, and fixed asset business intelligence, general ledgers, account payable, and the employee expense business integration analysis. Click here as a save and open a project. Once this is done, once you have enabled all the checkbox, you just go and open a project so that your project will going to be get open. Sometimes it may possible that when we are using the implementation project, when we are creating the implementations, when we select the offering to the implementation to implement it, it takes some time. So don't be worried about it. Now once we are here, you can see the name of the implementation project is 010 Aqua. And now I will going to use here in the task, you have to use percent manage chart percent of, either you can give this name as in a short way, or you can give this name in a full form also, it doesn't matter. So now we can have this, you can see a path is fully completed with finance, and here we are going for a finance. So we can use manage chart of account mapping, where we can see the path as finance, define communication application configurations for the financial, define enterprise structure for the financial, define financial report structure, define chart of account. This is the link where once you will going to click on the finance, you must be able to know what are the chart of account we have. So we have a chart of account in mapping. In a structure instance, we have a chart of account structure, we have a chart of account synchronizations to DRM, we have a chart of account value set value, and we have a chart of account value set. So to define a chart of account, we have to use here as value chart of account. So in this chart of account, we can see here as, so now we're going to work with a chart of account. What is a chart of account? We are already creating the implementation project. To create a simple chart of account with the following segments, we have to create company, we have to create a department, we have to create the account, we have to create a product, we have to create a project code. So all things are come under this chart of account. Now to create a chart of account, we have to use the manage chart of account value set value to enter a chart by clicking the length icon in the financial part. So I'm going to click on here manage chart of account. Once I'm going to create a manage chart of account, you can see the asterisk sign in front of manage chart of account structure, manage chart of account, and all this. So first we're going to use as a manage chart of account value set value. I'm going to click on go to task, and from that go to task I will going to create a company that will be called as legal entity. So in this value set code, it means, for example, I took 10101 underscore AQUA aqua, right? So I will going to take a legal entity. So here I can see a description also, and same thing you have to do with a description. I'm just increasing my font size. Okay, so I think you can able to see this legal entities. Copy, then I will going to click here as a paste. In the model I will going to use here as a ledger, general ledger, because this is the application. And the validation type I will going to take independent, format only, dependent only, subset only, and table. This is not that much of important, that is the format only, just in a form of format. Independent, it means it will going to use by everyone. Valid data type I will going to use here as a character. Once you're going to click on a character, you can find the definition automatically coming below it. So in this value subtype we're going to select here as a text. In this text you can create a value. For example, if I'm having a legal entities, this legal entities will have a maximum length of, so I can take here as a 3. So I can create here as a 3 or 4 or 5, whatever the length it should be not beyond that length. For example, if the name of my legal entity is aqua 1 2 3, so that is only the 1 to 3, or it may be a 0 1 0 something something, so it depends upon you. So here I will going to use, once I going to use save. And if you want to create a manage value, if you want to create a value in it, you can also go for a value, but that is the next part which I'm going to explain you. First I'm going to tell you how to create the legal entity, and then I will going to tell you how to create a department. So if I will going to use here as Control V and I'm going to search for it, I can see below you can see value set code. Okay, so now I'm going to create as the Aqua department. So I'm going to click on it. I will be, instead of this I will going to use department. It means that I am creating a department. Here I have to use independent. Where is, sorry, general ledger, and this should be independent. And here the value data type is character. So what type of character you need here, because it is a department, it will going to have at least 4 character. You can use here as a maximum length of a company is 2. You can use here divisions as a 3 or something, whatever you want. So I'm going to take a 4 over here. So once I'm going to take a 4, I'm going to use save and close. So in a chart of account I have used value set value, and I will going to type it over here. Legal entities, and again I will going to increase this. Second is a department. Third and fourth I will going to use here as hold on, third and fourth. Okay, so the same I will going to use here as a department, as the legal entity department. And now I will going to use here as account 101 Aqua account, and then I will going to use same here as a, instead of department, account product code and a project code, project number or product code, project number, and product code. So now we have created legal entities. Now we will going to create, we have used a legal entity, we have used a department, we have used the account, we have used the project number and the product code. Now so we're going to create all these things. Now save and close. Now we have to create department, and then in the same way we have to create a this is the account, this is general ledger, validation type independent is character. After using character we have a text. In this text we are using account number. So account number should be of 5 digit. I'm going to use save and close. I'm going to search whether these things you can see here as this thing. When I will going to use here as 010 Aqua whatever. Now we have account and now we have project number, then project code. So project number, independent character, text, and from the maximum length, as the project number is of 5 digits, so we're going to take here as a 5. We're going to save and then save and close. Again, I will going to use here as the aqua length as a product code. As general ledger. Then again I will going to use here as an independent, then same thing we have to use here as a character. Once we're going to have a character, you can define as a valid, subtype is text, and the product code is 6. Then I will going to use save and close. Once we're going to click here on a search, we're going to see a company. So now this is done, we are able to manage a chart of account value set. Now once we have created the chart of account value set, search and see all the value set appear in searcher result as it is shown here. Now we have to go to task, we have to manage value chart of account structure. So once we're going to click on a chart of account structure, we will go to the Felix code. So you can see here as a model. What model we have selected is general ledger. So we're going to use here as a general ledger. That is a model. And when I'm going to search over here, so I can see as a general ledger. So in this I'm going to use to manage this structure. So once I'm going to manage this structure, I will going to add here, this is a chart of account structure. So I'm going to click on here. So what was our structure? Aqua. So I can create here as a COA structure. Name this and describe this as a structure. In this delimiter, I will going to select a symbol as this one, below 2 plus, that is minus symbol. Once this is done, you can do here as a save. Once you have created all this, you have to create save, and then once you have saved, you have to go for the segment. In this segment icon, you have to create plus. So now what we're going to do, we already have those structures 010 segment code. So now we're going to use here as a segment code what we have used as COA. And we have created, see, you can see here as it is coming. So in COA we have used company or something, whatever we will going to use here, it will going to automatically will going to come, that is COA. So I just want to take the name of a company, for example Aqua, and that is a legal entity we took, right? Legal entity. It means that we are inserting legal entity over here. Control V. So I'm going to use here as a description, Control V, and the segment number I will going to use here as 1. Promoted value is a company, is a legal entities. Same I will going to use here as a legal entity. Legal entities. Describe the width of this. So we took 3. So here column name, that is a what will be the column name, that is segment 1, and the name of that will be a company. Where is that 010? We have to search for. So what we took, 010 Aqua. Enter. You have to click this, then okay. And now you have to label it. So what you will going to do, it is a company, so that is a primary balance segment. So you have to click on primary balance segment, and then you have to put it, and then you have to select it in a label, save and close. In the same way, you have to create the another one as a second one we took here as department. So first we're going to use here as a 3, here we're going to take here as a 4, here is 5, project code is 5, and then we have 6, right? So in this way we have to define. So now we're going to take as a department. I'm going to copy this and simply I'm going to paste it over here. Control V, search for a sequence number. So that will be, the first will be a legal entity, second will be a department, third will be a account. So in this way I will going to use here as sequence number. Width, display width, what width we have, 4, so I'm going to use here as a 4, and column name, that is segment 2, so I'm going to use here as a segment 2. Now here again I have to see for this thing, so again I'm going to copy this and I'm going to search for Control V. It means this is already set. So now I have taken a primary balance segment, and for this department I will going to choose a cost of account of segment, cost center segment. I will do save and close. Same I will going to add here as account, API, it will automatically going to take description. I'm going to use here as an account, segment value 3, and here I'm going to use account. Short promote is also account. Width, what width we have selected, 5, so we're going to use here as a 5. If you are selecting a width 5 and you are entering a number more than 5 digit, it means it will not going to allow you to enter. And the common segment value here will be a segment 3. So account, till now we have used primary balance segment, we have used cost center segment, we have, now we will going to use here as a natural account. So we have natural account segment, going to click over here, save and close. In the same way, we have the way that we have created legal entities, we have created department, we have created account. In that same way, we have to create a project number. Now this will be a 4, sequence 4, that is project number. Be careful, once you will going to make any of the mistake, you have to be careful, because once this is done, you won't be able to change anything. Width is 5 and the segment is 4. So now we have the project, so we are going to search here as a project. There you can see a product. There must be a product, primary balance, natural, secondary balance segment. So you can take here as the intercompany segment. Again, we're going to save and close. Then fifth, what we're going to take here as Aqua product code. Segment code is product code. Here will be copy. This will also copy. So here I'm going to copy, and this is a fifth segment, right? Sequence number. I'm going to use here only a product code. The simple step that you have to follow to create a chart of account. Here I will going to describe the length is 6, column segment is 5, and here the default value of segment code is also the same. So now here in the segment label we have seen a product segment, so we can go to use a product segment also here. Now save and close. In this segment you are able to see all the segments related, all the segment, my chart of account structure. So once it has been done, you have to use search. Once you have been searched, you have to make it as a save and close. In a structure code, what we have to use, structure code. Our structure code is code is equals to 010 Aqua. So this will be applicable for everyone. So this is a structure code and this is a structure. So I'm going to make it here as center. It will going to looks good. Now segment value, this is a this will be a managed chart of account structure. structure. So you have to set everything, and in the same way, once you have created a manage structure code, now we will go for, now once we have seen that it is already been structured, now I will show you how to manage a chart of account structure. Now once we have gone to manage chart of account structure, we will do the same thing. Felix code, this is done. And now what I will going to do, I will going to manage a structure instance. So what was our structure code? So my structure code was aqua COA. Copy. I'm going to search here. Are you able to see anything? No. So what we're going to do, we're going to create a structure. Felix. So here what we're going to do, we're going to use here as control V COA1. You don't have to give a name in the API. Even for the description, you have to use the same thing. And what is the name of a structure? That is what we used before. So what is our aqua COA? You can see here aqua COA. So now in this aqua COA, you can see the segment code, legal entity, department, account, project number, and the project code. It means that we are able to see this. So now I'm going to use here as a save, and here you have to click. You can see a pencil mark over here where you have to add and use as a required. You have to enable the required. So it is required because this structure segment as a legal, this is required for a project. I'm going to use here as one. Again, you in the same, you have to use a department. You will going to use as a required. See, once you will going to make enable the required, it will going to show you here as a tick mark. Same as an account, same for the number, and same for the code, that is a product code, sorry. And then done. Then you have to use here as save and close. Ensure that the required is checked and clicked on OK. Repeat it for all the segment. You can also select default type as constant and set up a default value in this stage. Whatever the default type that you want to use. So once it is done, you can see a segment as this is done. Now you can click here as a save save and close. And here you can use here as a COA. I'm going to search here. See, you can see 010 Aqua COA1. Structure name COA, and the structure instance code, it will going to show you everything, and here in the corner you can see that it is checked. So now you can, after searching, you can use done. Once this has been done, chart of account segment, you have to deploy the flex field. It means the deployment status is to be get completed. It will take some time to complete the deployment. It will deploy all the definition that we have created. So it will going to take some time. Wait until it work completely to 100%. See the confirmation and see that there are no error related to your C cost of account. You can ignore warning and you can click OK. So we have a warning, and we can see here as the, till now we can see here as the error 0. If we have anything that comes under the error, then we have to click on it, and then we have to work again on the same match chart of account process. So let it complete till 100. Once it is completed, we will going to make, so you just make a hands-on on it, and if you face any of the problem, let me know. If you face any of the doubt, you can have my number, or you can have my WhatsApp number. You can message me on this, and you can tell me if you face any difficulty if in the implementation project.